Howdy, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Unstoppable here at a Contagious Smile. I'm here with my lovely wife, Victoria Cure, and no dogs for a change.
It's only temporary.
So my wife has been diligently working away, working her little arm off, creating more books, more academy stuff, and just make sure our website stays up and running. So I'm kind of droll right now, aren't
I don't know why you slept all day.
I? Yeah,
All day.
yeah. Thanks for putting that out there.
All day. No, I actually have been working on a lot of different stuff. We have given out 480 scholarships on the Academy.
Wow.
And so, for people who don't know, we funded this ourselves. We don't have any sponsors yet, but we're looking. And this has all been out of our own pocket. And it's been incredibly hard, really, really challenging and hard to do this. And with the cost of, and I've talked to so many people who pay tens of thousands to 5,000, the variance is way up there for what they pay a month, depending on who they are. We're paying all of it ourselves, and we've got the cost much lower, but we're still covering it. And it's expensive. And so I actually put out there after I redesigned our Buy Me a Coffee site a link and like a little description about what we're doing and how it feels so good to help someone else. So why not help somebody else rise? Right? The only reason you should ever be over someone is if you're helping them up. And so I've put that out there and see if we can get some help to, because we don't want to stop doing what we're doing. We absolutely don't, but we can't. There's no money trees in our backyard. That's for doggone sure. So that is what I've been doing. And then I'm working on our Stucco Squad series, which is awesome. And this one's really hard. Today I started working on series book 3, the Stucco Squad, and it's called When Home is Too Loud. And it's really hard for me.
Sounds interesting.
Well, it's hard for me because it's all about like I put a little boy in this one with stucco, and his name is Tyler. And Tyler is going through scenarios that we don't want any children to go through. And these books are so great because you could sit down with your children, no matter the situation, and the book is written at their level and with their understanding and at their, it's really done at literally their eye level, like where it'll say, I can't sleep and my tummy hurts because daddy's yelling at mommy in the next room. And I have my hands over my ears and Stucco's holding me. What can I do? And then it gives you 4 different options of things that you can do, but it reminds you that you're not bad and you didn't do anything wrong. And that because they're arguing doesn't mean you're a bad kid. And it really does help with the kids, not only learning that they're not at fault, that they're not the reason that they're arguing, but it also helps remind them what to do in case of. Because there's all different scenarios in there that helps if something like this happens, what can you do? How do you prepare for it ahead of time? So that's, you know, a much needed book, but it's hard because to think about a child that young going and having to experience that's really hard.
And you're working on some ebooks?
These will also be ebooks.
Okay.
These will be paperback and ebooks, and they have coloring pages in them so they can color. There's some, activity pages in there too. It's just, I don't want these kids having to feel as if it's their fault.
Excuse me.
So, and that's really important. And, the numbers are staggering because I've been looking at just the latest statistics. And do you know that statistically for 2026, that 20 people every minute, every 60 seconds are being abused by an intimate partner in this country? 20 people a minute. There's 60 minutes in an hour. There's 24 hours in a day. I mean, that's incredible. The one that really shocked me was that Kentucky has the highest rated percentage at 45.3% for their state.
That's
That's
reported.
reported. And Alaska has 43.3. And what really got me is that there was not a single state that reported a domestic violence rate lower than 29.7%.
Yeah, the thing about that is it's those are the reported ones.
That's more than 1 in 4.
Right.
And this is civilian sector, right? So that just it's crazy.
Yeah, and I have some high-ranking general saying, "Oh, there's no domestic violence in the military."
I'm glad you mentioned that because let me tell you, I was trying so hard to remember this beautiful woman's name. Her name was, I'm so sorry. I hope I say this right. Lavenna Lynn Johnson. I heard this story and it absolutely just, there's no words. For anybody who doesn't know the story, was the daughter of John Johnson, who was also a service veteran, and Linda Johnson, and grew up in Missouri. And this is public knowledge. The story is very public. And what happened is that this beautiful, tiny, itty bitty little petite girl, I mean, super little petite girl, she enlisted in the army after graduating high school. And she was deployed to Iraq and stationed out there. She'd been there only 8 weeks before her death. Now, they officially ruled her death as a suicide by the Department of Defense. You obviously haven't heard this story.
Go ahead. I can see where this is going.
But this just, and like I said, we completely support our military. We support our law enforcement. I went through domestic violence in the military. Due to an NDA, I can't disclose much as into the branch or anything like that. But this is public. So her death was ruled suicide by Department of Defense. Now, here's the kicker. The father, no way, didn't believe it. Absolutely said this is not possible. I spoke with her really like right before this incident transpired, supposedly, and demanded to see her body. And they didn't want her to. They didn't want the family to see it. They absolutely pitched a fit not to. And so he opened his own investigation about everything. And the autopsy that he demanded, he got reported, and the photographs actually showed that I mean, she was tiny. We're talking like Halle Berry tiny, gorgeous, gorgeous young girl taken too soon. She had a broken nose, a black eye, loose teeth. She had burns from corrosive chemicals on her genitalia. She had a gunshot wound to her mouth, that seemed inconsistent with suicide. There were chemical burns on other parts of her, and they had attempted to destroy DNA that came after a rape kit was done. They attempted to destroy it. There were bloody footprints discovered outside of her living quarters. This is mind blowing to me because I'm so glad that this dad decided that he was not just going to take their word. He knew his child and said, I have to be her voice, right? I have to speak up for her. And that's exactly what he did. I would love to speak to this gentleman and his wife. I think their story needs to be told. I don't ever want us to forget this beautiful girl because what they're trying to do is cover up what they did. The military, it's covered up, which is an exact example of Shielded, the book that's coming out here in the next couple of weeks, all about the coercion and military and law enforcement cover up. And again, we completely support, but we don't support the corruption and the cover ups. So, Lavenna, I'm so sorry if I say her name wrong. It was so upsetting because she didn't get the justice that she absolutely deserved. And her parents fought tooth and nail. The military tried to cover it up. They went all the way to Department of Defense, and everybody kept saying, no, this is a suicide. This is a suicide. You don't have a suicide like this. You just don't. They said that she ate her duty weapon. And this is a big weapon. And she's a tiny, tiny little girl. Not, I mean, you little girl. She's a woman. She was a woman. But she was happy. There was nothing that would have made her do this.
Right.
But to cover up the fact that her entire platoon was at fault for this, as well as some high-ranking people. My understanding from what I also heard about this is that when they were done with her, bless her living heart, she cried and crawled to try to go to the medic tent.
Mm-hmm.
And people saw her. She was unclothed and they got her again. And so it was higher ranking people. And so this is the cover up. And my biggest condolences to the family. My heart goes out to this family and all the families that have gone through something like this. And I have so much respect for this family because they refuse to back down and say, I will take you for your word. It was a suicide. And they knew better. I mean, the parents knew and they fought for her and they were her voice. And that's what we're trying to do is be people's voices. And this isn't the first story like this. If you look up anywhere in military, law enforcement, I mean, they're consistent. I mean, they are all over the place out there stories about this specific thing happening and it being covered up and stated it was,
Training exercise.
it was a training exercise or it was a suicide or, her car lost control. There's all these different things instead of the pricks that do it taking accountability for their actions. Right? And I wish I could find the lady that I had read about where her son came home from Iraq and she met him and his wife and kids at their home. He had just got back from deployment. And the very first thing she said to her daughter-in-law is, "That's not my son. That is not my son. My son is not this creature that has come home." I wish I'd kept this article. And come to find out after dinner, her son just started assaulting his wife in front of the kids, in front of his mom. She told him to go back overseas. And she said, "I hope you come home in a body bag." And that's what she told her only son. And she said, because my son, who I gave birth to and raised, has already died overseas. He's already died in combat. But you are not coming home and walking into your home and beating my daughter-in-law, who is the mother of my grandchildren, and hurting my grandkids. My son has already died. I mean, what an incredibly powerful statement. And she got such ridicule over it. But he almost killed his wife. And it was in front of his kids. That's not something you can help these kids. I mean, yes, you can help these kids, but you can never erase that memory from these kids. It's just horrific.
So do you remember the movie Basic? John
Absolutely.
Travolta, Samuel Jackson. That was a good one.
Samuel Jackson wasn't in Basic. Oh, no, I'm thinking of The General's Daughter. Yeah. Sorry.
Well,
which John Travolta was in that too.
Which was also...
It's a true story. It's a true story. Mm-hmm.
So it happens,
More than anybody knows.
I'm not just picking on the military. I myself was Air Force, and I was 13 and a half years law enforcement. I personally seen the cover-up guys where my superior officer told me how the report was going to be written and to keep him out of it. Yes. And what do you do as an underling, as a rookie officer, or, you do what you're told. You follow orders.
Or it just goes up the chain, and the more you go up the chain, the tighter the noose gets on us.
So it does happen, unfortunately. And like my wife said, we do support the military and law enforcement. So
just not the cover-ups.
Right.
I mean, it's horrific. It's sad to know that, again, this beautiful woman, I wish I could find a picture of her. She's absolutely breathtaking. I mean, she's gorgeous. And she went in to serve our country. She went in to be one of the good ones. And her life was taken so fast and not, she had agreed that she would die for our country. She agreed to serve and protect our country.
Yeah, not this manner.
And she didn't sign up for this. I mean, she didn't.
No.
And neither do the spouses. The spouses don't, the children don't. They don't sign, they sign up to be a soldier's wife. They sign up to be a proud wife of an American soldier. But they don't agree to be the punching ground. They don't agree to be the cop wife. You know, it takes a very special person to be married to a law enforcement officer, female or male. It takes a very special person to be able to do it. They have to have patience and understanding. And when you come home from the job, even though you try to leave it, you can't. You can't always leave it. And that's tough. That's really tough. And it's so heart wrenching, you know, and this is kind of off in left field, which I'm known to do. But the gentleman who played, I just forgot his name because I'm sitting here thinking about this. He just passed away from ALS, and he played Mark Sloan from, can you see who his name is? I just lost it. Mark Sloan of Grey's Anatomy. I could see his face, and he was in the Bad Boys, and I know when you say Eric Dane, never mind. His name is Eric Dane. He had ALS, and the reason I'm going, this has nothing to do with domestic violence, but if you have 6 minutes, I think it's 6 minutes and 19 seconds or something like that, go Google this man. He did an interview before he passed away. Babe, he did an interview before he passed away, and he agreed to do it with the understanding it would not go live until he died.
Got it.
And he had 2 beautiful children with his ex-wife, Rebecca Gayhart, and I think their names are Billy and Georgia. And this man who was just an amazing actor, family man, loved his kids. Like I said, he was in Bad Boys. I think it was The Last Ship. He was McSteamy in Grey's Anatomy. And now you see him in a wheelchair. He can barely swallow. He can barely talk. And for 6 minutes, he left a message to his 2 children, to his girls. And it is the most heart-filled message, talking about, I want you to love. I want you to fall in love. I want you to fall in love, even if it is with a person. I don't care who they are. It is so heartfelt. And to know that they're going to have that forever, it's beautiful. And the reason I'm talking about this with Eric Dane is because he just literally went from standing, functioning, to wheelchair bound so fast by the time his diagnosis came out, right? And he had very progressive ALS. You don't know what tomorrow brings. You just don't. And it's so imperative that you tell the ones that you love them. And the ones who bring you drama and trauma, just put them out in the West, you know, put them in the wayside. You don't need it. Life is too short. It's too short. And if people are going to bring you drama, you don't need it unless you crave that stuff. And we know plenty of people who do. You just need to say no.
How many times do you think, Victoria, you, I, and our daughter down there watching TV say I love you to each other throughout the day?
Consistently, a dozen or more.
I would agree. I would say anywhere between 8 to 15. From the time we wake up, 5 in the morning.
That I go to sleep.
and you know, she's hit the nail on the head, guys. How many times do you look over your significant other or your child and just give them a hug and say, hey, I love you? You know, I'll be walking in the store with our daughter and I'll just reach over and give her a hug and say, I love you. You know, standing in line at Starbucks.
And let me just say, kudos to him, to my husband, because back in the day, replay of 20 something years ago, it took me 3.5 years to get I love you out of my husband.
Oh, yes.
And when he first said it, he had a Mountain Dew on the light bar of the squad car, and he got a call. We were in a parking lot, and he said, could you wait here until I get back from this call? It's nothing. It's an alarm, and somebody probably tripped it. It's not a big deal. I'll be back in 5 minutes. And I was like, I guess. And it was raining, and I was like, oh, I don't want it to fine. And he had his Mountain Dew on the light bar. He gets in, and then he gets on the PA, and he goes, by the way, I love you. And I was like, what? Like, oh my God. And he speeds off, and the Mountain Dew goes like all over the side of the door, everywhere else. He stops in the middle of a very busy road, U-turns, comes back and goes, I just said that out loud, didn't I? And I said, yes, yes, you did. And then he went to the call and came back. And I waited for the longest time to hear him say that. I mean, just the longest time. And then after that, I was always like wanting him to say it more and more and more and more and more. And it means so much and it costs nothing, but it means everything. It really does. It's just the simplicity of, you know, letting someone know that they're valued,
So, our dogs say I love you to us all the time.
especially mine say it to me.
They'll just come up to us while we're sitting down on the couch like a while ago and just prop their head on our leg and just look at us with those puppy dog eyes.
Yes, but Stucco pushes you away. I was downstairs in we call it the cold room, and my husband tries to get frisky for a minute, and I'm like, "What are you doing? You better get your hand off of me." And we're just playing. And next thing you know, I hear Stucco going down 2 flights of stairs, and I'm deaf. He comes out and just pushes my husband away and gets right up on my lap. And he was like, "I don't think so. That's my mama." And I mean, you can't help but love him. He's just my Stucco.
Yeah, so my wife does paralegal paperwork shit. And
Shit.
yeah,
Nice.
you got so much on your plate.
The freaking buffet line. And that doesn't help my weight loss.
Anyway, some of that is doing last will and testaments, for her clients or for friends, even revamping ours.
Power of attorney, medical power of attorney,
So
abandonment of property. I'm just saying.
it's important, y'all. Tell your loved one that you actually love them. They like to hear it. You don't know what's going through their mind. You don't know what's going on at the time.
It's tough. And then you really go in and you go through and really look at like a narcissist. And
Who probably never says it.
I never heard from my egg donor that she loved me. Ever. Never, ever, ever.
And you got a perfect memory.
Like no, never told me. I can never, ever recall my sperm donor telling my egg donor that he loved her. Ever. There was never affection. It was like Antarctica and Siberia between them. Always. A couple of times I saw them hold hands, I almost flipped over and was like, "What? Did you fall? Did you catch you? What's this?" Like, there was no affection. There was no terms of endearment. But my grandparents, and today is the anniversary of my grandfather passing, by the way. And when they were around each other, it was like the sweetest thing you've ever seen constantly, but it wasn't too much. It was just the right, perfect amount. Like, look at my beautiful bride. Isn't she gorgeous? When my grandmother was going through cancer and she lost her hair, he didn't care. He still said she was stunning. She was beautiful. And it didn't matter what was going on. He held every door open for her. He ordered for her. He took her coat for her. He helped her put her coat on. They kept every correspondence they wrote between each other for over 50 years. And it's like, that's what it's about, right? And so I openly, and in my books, I've openly thanked my biological parents because they taught me how not to be as a partner, how not to be as a mom, or for a long time I was a mom and dad. They taught me how not to do both of that. And then I was given the greatest gift from them, which was my grandparents and the opportunity to see what love really was, and to see all of that. And that's so important because life is too short. But when you really go into the mind of a narcissist, for the longest time, people don't realize narcissists are very insecure. And they never will admit it. You could stay, I mean, you and I both had narcissistic people in our lives. And not in our lives anymore, but in family. And you could go up to them and say, "You're very insecure. You are very insecure." And imagine saying that to any of them, because they would deny it wholeheartedly till the sun went down. But it's true. They're very insecure. And so they want to impress people so much that's outside of the dynamic of family. And then they take out all their aggression, everything else behind that door inside the house because it's not a home. And it's just, why do you care so much about what all these other people out there think? But the people who are there for you, you just crap all over and walk away. And then never in your life can you take accountability for your actions. Ever. Nothing you ever do is good enough for anybody when it comes to us trying to do right by the narcissist.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't. And they'll never give you credit.
Yep. So back when my wife and I were dating, up until present, I have always tried to open my wife's door for her. Now, my wife is stubborn, y'all. She is a feisty, red-headed, one-headed ball of fire. Okay. And she has done for her and herself almost all her life. Okay. She's learned how to survive. So she doesn't need a man to hold open the door for her. She doesn't need a man to open her car door. Okay. The fact that there's one in her life is still a struggle for her.
That's not true. I absolutely don't think that's true. Well, in some
Go
incidents,
grab the door handle. Something.
that's habit.
Habit.
Yes, but like there's certain things that I love for you doing. Like I love when you open the door. I love when you order for me, which you haven't done a lot lately. But I love when you do stuff like that. But there are so many things that I can do myself that I don't want anyone to do for me because I don't ever want to feel like I'm not able to.
Okay, let's back up on the ordering. Why would you want me to order for you? Isn't that a controlling factor? Like I'm telling you, this is what you're going to eat, woman.
No, because I'm so like A, I'm ordinary, B, I'm consistent. So wherever we go, I order basically the same thing without variation.
Okay.
And so my grandfather used to order for my grandmother, and I think that I'm very old school in a lot of aspects.
Okay.
So doing something like ordering what I'm going to eat, knowing what I want because I order the same thing, to me that's very sweet. That's very gentlemanlike. That's different. You saying to me, you're not cutting your hair and if you want to go and dye it black, absolutely not. That's controlling. That's saying what can and can't be done. And for someone who just cut 7 inches off their hair, obviously that's not the issue. But like for you to like order, it's a sign of affection. It's a sign of love to do something like that. Nobody does that anymore. And you know, you go to these restaurants, you look around, everybody's on their freaking phone. Everybody's like head down on their phone. And so often I had this little voice in my head of my grandfather going, if I wanted them at that table, they would have been invited. And I'll sit there and if we get quiet at the table, I'll be like, all right, what's going on? Why isn't anybody talking? You know, because that's crazy. Why go out, pay for a meal when you're just going to sit there and talk to whomever on the phone, not pay attention or play a game? My husband's doing it right now. He's looking at his phone.
Another phone.
Still, I
So
hate electronics.
the next time we go to Texas Roadhouse, whatever I order for you, you're gonna eat it.
Only if it's something I would normally eat. So don't try to order me something I've never had in my entire life because it's going to be a waste of money.
That roadkill is pretty dang good.
I will never try it.
Just because of the name roadkill?
No, because it's meat.
Of course it's meat.
No. And right now I can't seem to like anything I eat right now. Nothing I'm eating right now is yummy at that point. Like nothing. And I've openly stated I'm doing GLP-1. Like I've put it out there that I am, and I am. I'm doing GLP-1.
I am.
I am that I am. I am doing GLP-1. I'm trying for the first time to better myself and take my own advice that I give and help myself because I have extreme body dysphoria and I am the first to admit it.
But yet you're beautiful.
Thank you. Order my food.
Yes, ma'am.
But you know, it's the fact that like, okay, let's take Faith for instance. I love the playful banter you two have, right? But she could come in here right now and she will tell you I have never raised my voice to her. I've never screamed at her. She's never been spanked. She's never been hit. But if you ask her, you know, if she senses that I'm disappointed in her actions, like I would say to her, I'm not mad at you. I'm disappointed in your choice because I want her to know that this will pass and I don't love her less, but it's how you address it, right? So I would always say to her, hey, I really thought that you were going to do this today. And instead you've done this. And I'm really disappointed because I thought that you would have accomplished this because I believe in you and I know you could do it. And so when they're bantering back and forth, and I'll just walk by in my normal voice and I'll be like, I'm sorry, have you eaten yet? No, ma'am. But then she'll call him an asshole like 2 minutes later because that's their playful banter and that's what they do. And it's all in just fun. But he'll be like, why don't you talk to mom that way? She's like, what are you nuts? And it's a very big respect. Like, little Faith back in the day used to worry that she would never be pretty. Seriously, this girl is a bombshell. She is what we called in the 80s,
Back off, guys.
what we call in the 80s a brick house. Remember that term? She's flawless. She is gorgeous. And I can't just say that because she's mine, even though I am saying it because she's mine. But she's gorgeous. But like, when she was little, she used to say, Mom, nobody's ever going to want me in a relationship because I'm not pretty. And I'm like, what? Every single day, there's not a day that goes by I don't tell her how gorgeous she is. There's not a day that goes by that I don't tell her how beautiful she is inside and out. Every single day. Even when she was in her, like, I'm wearing nothing but black period. And I mean, black fingernails, black toenails, black jewelry, black gothic clothes. I don't know which friend put her, I do, put her in this little cycle. But I still was like, you're stunning, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, right? Because to be trapped in your body, knowing that you don't see yourself as others do, is its own life sentence. It really is. You are just drowning in your own negativity. And it is nothing I ever want Faith to go through because it is a life sentence. It really is. And so that's why I'm so big about body dysphoria with her as well. And I mean, I love it. She'll walk around and she'll be like, I'm hot. I know I look good. I think one of the cutest videos I have of her, she must have been like 7 or 8.
Oh my gosh.
And she's like, I'm on fire. And she goes, and like puts her fingers to her mouth, blows a kiss on her fingers, and then touches her booty and goes, Sss. Cutest thing ever, right? And to know, I mean, she's like, I make this look good. That is the kind of self-esteem our kids need. But here's the thing, and Michael, tell me if I'm wrong. She is not conceited.
Can I?
If I am, but she's not conceited. There's the difference. She's not stuck up. She's not
is not.
conceited.
You are not wrong.
But she knows she's beautiful, and that's what matters.
And that's the reason y'all should tell your loved one you love them every day. Because all it took for us was one dinner, and then our world changed.
And we almost lost her. And that wasn't the only time that,
No. But it happened quickly.
Yes,
Extremely quickly.
totally out of nowhere.
When we thought everything was hunky-dory, peachy creams.
Peachy creams.
Peachy creams.
Okay.
And we had a dinner, and then we were going to hit the hay.
No, we were going to watch a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
We were all going to curl up and watch a Christmas movie.
So, tell them you love them, guys. Give them a hug.
It's so important. And then what about the family members who only come around when they need something or want something, and to hell with you when they don't?
They can what?
I'm
Kick
asking.
rocks.
Would you really say that to everyone in your life?
Kick rocks.
Yeah, but who are you saying that to? Mm-hmm.
Y'all know who we're talking to. Don't come around us just wanting shit. Just because my wife can do extraordinary things.
Oh,
For
good
free.
grief.
I don't do much. I make a bracelet every now and then. Oh, and I messed up on my wife's bracelet. She wanted a sterling silver bracelet, and I worked on it for several hours the other day and totally messed it up. And it was FUBAR for you Generation X folks. And I have to start entirely from scratch to give my wife a bracelet. But I heard our good buddy Will is liking his.
It's gorgeous. He loves
Will is
it.
currently babysitting our puppies
You're so funny.
that we're getting from him very soon. I can't wait because, we've got the living room mapped out, big open area for them. And, some new fur rugs that our current dogs are taking over. And they're going to have fun down there playing with each other and getting in trouble, rooting around.
They're so cute and so sweet. Oh my, like they're just the sweetest. I don't know how anybody could hurt a dog. I really can't. I mean, I just can't. I can't see or understand how anybody could hurt a dog. I saw and I heard like Keanu Reeves make a statement. If you kill a dog, you should be put down yourself. And a lot of people got mad about it. But I mean, what? Seriously? That if you could hurt a golden retriever,
Yeah.
like I know there's pit bulls and German shepherds and all that, and I get all that, but like a golden retriever is a totally different breed altogether in more ways than one. Like they are the most loving, affectionate, attentive. Like they know. Like when I start having spasms in my amputated limb, which is all the time now, both of them will come over and either like Rusty will put his paw on my nub, just like I got you, mom,
Real.
or Stucco will, and just lay there with me or look at me or sit in the office. And earlier today, you had Stucco with you while you were napping, and I had Rusty in here, and my nub was just starting to like be really weird on one side, and I'm paralyzed on the other side of it, so I don't feel that side, obviously. And all of a sudden, Rusty, who just likes to lay around a lot, sat up and looked at me and did what he Stucco does by putting his nose under my nub to move it. And I was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And then he did, and he moved my nub up, and he got on, and not even like 10 seconds later, it just went into like a full spasm. And I was just like, how did you, how did you even know? I mean, yeah, they know. They absolutely
I
know.
think I saw some training like that when you have epileptic seizures come on.
Yes, they'll let you know ahead of time.
There's some chemical your body secretes.
Hmm.
I didn't get in that part of training, but yeah, dogs are awesome.
They are. And that's why we're getting two more. That's why we're getting two more.
I can't imagine because every night I go to bed, I have to kick Stucco out of my spot. He's laying on my pillow on my
That's only
side of
because
the
you're
bed,
trying to get over to me.
right? I always say, all right, come on, boy, get up, go, get. Now I got to have two more to contend with.
No, there'll be three because Rusty too.
Right.
Why are you saying two? There's going to be four
I think two
total.
more to
Yeah,
contend with on top of the other two.
right. You just said Stucco, and then you said two more, so that's three. But we'll have four. And when you're outside, when they bark, you can hear them. They're not playing. I know we have like 20 cameras and it's always recording and, motion lights and everything else under the sun here. But that gum, those dogs, you hear them. They're not playing.
Yeah, folks aren't coming in here that don't need to be in here.
This is a trauma free zone.
And that's why we like it.
Believe it or not, we're simple. It's so funny. Do you remember back in the day you were like, "Oh, you're a city girl. You would never want to be out in the country. You like the highlight and
That
the
is
fast life and blah 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 blah." And you couldn't have been more wrong. I mean, you really, and I'm like, I can't wait for us to move because we're moving to the mountains and I don't want anybody around. I want to take an hour to go to the store. I can't wait. Like, seriously, when we just came back from the mountains and because we went to see Will and it was like, this is too congested for us, like
right. In his small town that he
in a
was in.
very small town.
Yeah.
And it's just, don't get me wrong, we love people, but people bring unnecessary drama and trauma and stress. And, if you're a great person, we have some great people in our lives. Don't get me wrong. We have some great people in our lives. And we have some other people that are from afar. And I would like it if they were even farther. Just saying. And I think you would too, but I'm more vocal about it than you are.
People, what?
Make my head hurt. I say that all the time. Like, stupid people make my head hurt. Like standing in the line at the grocery. And I will go in the line where there is somebody with special needs working the register. And I'm always like, hey, and I call them by their name. How are you doing? How's it going? So good to see you. And, take your time. I'm not going anywhere. We're good. And I had the nastiest lady with her son a while back. And she was like, great, get behind the one that's going to take forever to unload onto the belt because she only got one hand. And I just looked at her And it's like if Faith was there and somebody was ahead of us, she would have been, "Can I help you unload your cart?" When
Right.
I'm there and I see an elderly person, I ask,
Ask.
"Can I help if I unload your cart?" And they'll look at me like, "You only have one arm. What are you doing? I can still unload for you. I can still absolutely unload for you."
Well, that one lady gave you the gruff. This. I
Yes.
get my own.
Right.
Remember that one?
Yes. One of them smarted off to Faith, and she was just like, I mean, yes, Faith is much more verbal in a lot of ways because this woman's cart was spilling over with food. And
Really?
what?
That's probably like $1,500.
Well, now it's probably more than that. But like, and the woman was just as rude as can be, and I knew it was coming. I just was trying to time it so that she wouldn't hear her. And the woman was so rude to Faith, and
Mm.
Faith tried to be nice to her at first, and the woman kept getting smarter and smarter and just rude as can be to her. So Faith just looked at her and said, "What is this, your afternoon snack?" About the cart of food. And she looks at me and she's like, "Are you going to allow your child to talk to me that way?" "Yeah, I am." Because she gave you like multiple chances and she offered to help you.
Mm-hmm.
You were rude and she needs to know she can stand up for herself. So, absolutely. And Faith is like, "You need a hug, but it's obviously not going to be from me." And she was like, "Don't look at me like I'm a pork chop." But I mean, Faith is the most giving, loving person in the world and she will help you with any and everything. But if you cross her or someone that she loves, it's done. One and done. That's it.
Yep.
And kids today, they're not like that.
I should get them to pick their head up from their phone.
Hey, you have no room to talk.
Yes,
I
I do.
hate electronics. I am so, and the only reason, and people say, "Well, you're on it all the time." I'm on the computer all the time. But, like I don't have a tablet and I am good with it. I have two phones. One is the business and one is personal. And I'm not thrilled about it. I don't see how, and I get it. A lot of people are gamers, okay, but my husband and daughter can play games. They can
My therapist
play.
says it's good for me.
Yeah, but you don't tell her the truth
How am I going to lie to my therapist?
with your mouth open.
You want to be on my next session?
I would love to, because you told her you only play when people are sleeping. You did not tell her you play in the evenings. You did not tell her you play on your phone. You did not tell her you play for hours at a time. You did not tell her you play on the phone and the Xbox at the same time.
Holy, that's your daughter.
No, I've seen you do it too.
You just throwing me all out there tonight, huh?
I'm just saying.
We're scratching this episode.
No, we're not. Do you know how to produce it?
Not produce this one.
Do you know how to produce any of the episodes?
We're not going to produce this one.
Oh, yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Oh, yeah, I am.
Who's the boss?
I am.
I'm the president.
No, you've been demoted to vice president. Remember? Faith took your job.
If I do not remember, does it still count?
No, it does not.
Fate.
And it's so cute because you two will have words and then you'll be like, "I can't imagine my life without her."
Oh, shut up. Don't say that on me.
Did you just tell me to shut up?
Yes, I did. Shut up.
And then you talk about how much you love her
Shh.
and she's the best kid you could have ever asked for.
My voice.
No. And that she's the best kid you could have ever asked for.
Shh. She's going to hear.
She's so much like you. It's unheard
That's
of.
mine.
Okay, but I
She's my
want some of
squiggly.
the habits. Really? Now you're going to talk squiggly.
Yeah, she's my leftover.
Wow. That is not a complimentary thing to say.
What?
That's my leftover. Like, that's
Right. She's the
that's
best.
not. That's just so wrong.
No, she finished first.
How do you even figure that?
She was the fastest swimmer.
Oh my God. You know what? I want her to come in here and do a podcast soon because it is a downright riot listening to the two of y'all because she won't take your shit.
Really?
She doesn't. Like, she came in there into our room last night, ran up beside you and just farted. Nothing like ever. And then she's like, "My butt blew you a kiss," and runs out and shuts the door.
Nasty heifer.
It was hilarious.
And then y'all go on Amazon and read some of her books about me.
Oh, Lord. She only did one about you, and I helped her with it.
Don't take credit for her.
I'm not taking credit.
She's an awesome writer.
Yes, she
She
is.
writes phenomenal stuff. And then when she asks you, what do you think? How do you like it? Definitely better believe I'm going to give you my opinion.
All 4 cents. So here's a question. What do you do when a family member comes out of the woodwork out of nowhere and asks for help that you've had issues with in the past?
Oh, sorry, I'm not available.
You would actually say that.
Yep, sorry, I'm not available.
Since when would you say that?
The other day.
What if it was life or death?
Look, you have someone else in your immediate vicinity.
What if they didn't?
They do. Everyone does.
Not everyone.
Really?
There was plenty of time I didn't. Now what? Crickets?
You did, but you couldn't go to them.
And if I did, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. So then what do you do?
I'm still not doing anything. I got my little family up here to protect. Haven't we been through enough? Why are you putting more stuff on my plate?
At least you got a plate. I got a buffet.
Is it all you can eat buffet?
Is it you're nasty?
What?
Why do you look at me up and down like I'm the menu?
Oh, girl, you make my stomach hurt.
You know, the first time you met my best friend who passed away, we met you at a bar and it was like an Applebee's kind of thing, whatever. And you walked in. I do know the name of it. And you walk in and she looks at you and she was like, huh. And then you're like, I'm gonna have to get something to go. And I was like, well, and then you're like, I have to go to the restroom. And I said, well, tell me what you want. I'll order it for you. You took the menu, you threw it on the ground, and you said, I can have anything I want on the menu. And I said, well, yeah, I'll order it for you. And he said, how about you stand on top of it? Yeah, you did.
That was so cheesy that it worked.
Not for a very long time.
I have you now and forever.
You had me then, as long as you remember, but you also had like.
Count. Today counts. Tomorrow's not here.
So then you should value every single second.
I do. That's why I'm spending time with you right now.
Why did you have something in your eye?
Uh-huh.
Because you winking.
Love and affection for you.
Oh, sorry if I hurl. Seriously. So how do you
Are we back to that?
show love to your, what do you do? Like the simple things. I love Post-it notes. I've even bought you Post-it notes and give it to you with a pen.
In the past, there's two right there on the wall.
The reason, okay, that's not a Post-it note. That's an 8x11.
Says,
piece
I
of
love
paper.
you. Don't work too much.
I need you tonight because it's all self-involved. See, I need you tonight. Always here, always watching, always loving, always yours, always soulmate, soulmationship, babe. And then you wrote your name, your first and last name, like I don't know who it is, right? But I've given him Post-it notes and a pen. And I was like, I love finding notes. And I would find notes in the vehicle like, ooh, I'm going to have my chicken pot pie tonight. Because my nickname is Chicken.
Nasty.
And so he's nicknamed me Chicken. And he would leave these notes and it made my day. It absolutely makes my day. And it takes like less time than a text. But it's called penmanship, where you pick up a pen and you write on a piece of paper, which nobody does anymore. It's all electronic, right? They're going to stop making pens. That's what's next. By the way, totally off left field, because that's, again, what we do.
Did you say Biden?
No.
Say it again.
No. By the way.
Sound like Biden.
No, I didn't mention him.
Who we now found out.
Thank you for joining us. I have no idea what he's about to talk about.
Presidential Medal of Honor Award during his administration, and we were completely unaware of it until like just a few days ago. So my wife has a Presidential Medal of Honor Award waiting for her that we have to go get somehow, if we can still get it, if she can acquire it. She'll have to reach out to Trump and his administration and
Can I get it from Trump?
I wish you could. I wish he'd give it to you personally with an endorsed check to sponsor this A Contagious Smile indefinitely.
Did you hear what happened to Trump this morning?
No.
At what is it called? Margo Lago, whatever. I don't know if he was there or not. 1:30 in the morning, somebody hopped the fence over there with gun and gasoline, and Secret Service shot him dead where he stood.
There you go.
And everybody's all mad at Trump
For what?
for doing it.
Protecting his family?
He didn't kill him.
No.
The Secret Service did.
Right. He hired people to protect his family.
Where was the ones protecting him when he almost got his ear shot off?
Oh. Couldn't tell you. They were lackadaisical.
They didn't even see the shooter on the building.
Well, they did. They had the one sniper watching them.
Then they should have removed
They
him.
were not given the go-ahead to fire.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, good that he's safe and sound.
A lot of people everybody either loves him or hates him. There's no in between. None.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a good note to end on.
Yeah, because I'm producing this one.
So y'all be sure to look out for her upcoming books. You can get a lot of them from victoriacure.com, go through Amazon, hop over to contagiousmile.com, buy us a cup of coffee, y'all. Please, please support the show. We're doing this all out of our pocket, and just a little bit from the 40 million followers that we have could go a long way. So buy us a coffee.
I don't think Antarctica heard that.
I just saw something on Antarctica recently.
And on what?
Antarctica.
What?
Antarctica. I'm from Georgia. That's how we talk. Antarctica. Good night, y'all. Thanks for listening. Smile.
Ay, ay, ay.